Today we're making lemon bubble green tea with only 5 ingredients: bubbles, water, lemons, tea, and sugar. Let's begin. We're going to start with the bubbles because they take the longest to make and are the most important part of the meal. So you're going to boil water first, and I'm just making this for myself, so you don't need very big of a pot. You're going to fill it up most of the way so that there's just enough room for the bubbles. So next, you're going to turn up the heat on your stove and boil the water. While that's heating, we're going to measure out our bubbles. So I use 2/3 of a cup for one person. And speaking of bubbles, you want to use the nuts.com bubbles because they're the best ones you can buy in the US. So while the water's boiling and we're waiting to put in the bubbles, we're gonna make the tea. So for the tea, so this is green tea, we're gonna do 1 teaspoon for however many cups you're making. So the tea can steep for however long you want, depending on how strong you want your tea to be. So I'm only gonna steep it for around 5 to 10 minutes to get a very light tea. The water is officially boiling now, so we're just gonna dump in those bubbles and take one of these pasta spoons. You could use a wooden spoon, but they're just pretty hard to clean when you're done. So then you're gonna stir it around a little bit. Make sure none of them rest on the bottom. That's the importance of stirring. So if you stir them for a little bit, you can just stop. You wanna put the cover back on and lower the heat. Now, you wait for 40 minutes while they cook. 40 minutes has officially passed. Now we're going to empty out the water from the boba pot. You want to get most of the water out, but not all of it, because you need a little of it to melt the sugar. So with your waterless boba, you're gonna add some sugar. So the amount of sugar you add really depends on how much sugar you add. There's not that much in this container, so I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna put the rest, or most of the rest. Right, so that's good. Then you're gonna use this. So you're gonna turn the slightly on a tiny bit and mix around until the bubbles are crackling and they're almost sticking to the pan. This will give it the caramel-like taste and will make the whole bubble tea taste better. Now, in this time, don't forget to continuously stir, because if you stop stirring, they will end up sticking to the pan. So now I'm done stirring. I'm going to turn off the pot and just wait a little bit for the bubbles to cool. So I'm going to grab my cup and pour the bubbles into the cup. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Look at that. Look at those bubbles right there. Those are perfect. Time to finish off the tea. So I'm going to pour in all of the pot because I want it this much. You could either use half a lemon or a whole lemon, depending on how sour you want your tea to be. I'm going to use a whole lemon because I want it to be quite sour. So if you want to add more sugar, you can. but for me, I'm not because I could put a little bit extra sugar in the bubbles. So now you just add ice and enjoy. Now you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy your bubble tea. That's Bubble Tea 101 with Chef Shay.